Alright, so we're going to go over nutrition. So there's some important terms, and then you've got to be able to know and understand the essential nutrients. So we'll just get started. So here are the terms, some important terms you need to know. Nutrition, just the process by which your body takes in and uses food. Nutrients are substances and food that your body needs to grow, repair itself, and supply you with energy. So the 6 essential nutrients, which by the way, essential in this case means your body doesn't make these nutrients. So you have to get them in your diet. So proteins, carbs, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water you need to get in your diet, and that would be the 6 essential nutrients. And then calories, a unit of heat used to measure the energy your body uses and receives from food. So just think about any food equals fuel, food equals energy, and it's made up of calories. So if you're wanting to lose weight, I mean, you can read up on like the other ways to go about doing this, but really like it comes down to calories in versus calories out. If you're taking in more calories than you're burning through the day, you're going to gain weight, and then vice versa. Really quick, one thing I want to go over with this slide, it's made me think of this, is we want to try and choose nutrient-dense foods. And what that means is, so think about nutrient-dense being like the opposite of empty calories. So nutrient-dense are going to be foods that are very low in calories compared to the nutrients they provide. So like you can think of like fruits and vegetables as nutrient dense, and then like an example of empty calories would be like Mountain Dew or a donut, because you're getting a lot of calories and very, very little nutrients. So think about empty calories versus nutrient dense. Alright, so 2 terms to differentiate and know. Hunger is the natural physical drive to eat. So your body is going to physically tell you that you're hungry. A lot of people experience hunger differently. Whether that's your stomach is growling, you feel nauseous and sick, you feel tired, or I don't know, dizzy. There's something that your body's going to do that's going to say like, hey, you need to feed me, put fuel in your body, right? And then appetite is the psychological desire. So you could be hungry. Let's say that you went with your family out to dinner. You went to Olive Garden and you were just stuffed. But then on your way to the car, you walk past like some bakery or ice cream place or whatever, and like the smell of a dessert makes you want to eat that. You are definitely not hungry, but the psychological desire is there, so the appetite. And then like another example of that, I guess the opposite, where you lose your appetite, is let's say that you are hungry and you go to a baseball game and you go and get your drink, your food, your hot dogs, chips, whatever, and then you go sit down and like some kid next to you throws up. Like you're hungry, but some people would be like, yeah, I can't eat this. So they would lose that desire for food. So hopefully you get the difference between hunger and appetite. Okay, so this is just ways that your body uses nutrients. There are 3 of our 6 essential nutrients that give you energy. We'll get into each of them in detail in just a minute, but protein, carbs, and fat. If you can remember that, that would be awesome to remember that those 3 provide energy. Carbs are the main source though. Heal, build, and repair tissue, mainly protein does that. And then like, so sustaining growth, transporting oxygen, regulating body functions, a lot of these are like your vitamins and minerals. Okay, so getting into each of the essential nutrients. Carbohydrates. So, like I mentioned, these provide your body's main source of energy. Most of your calories should be coming from carbs, and when I give you some examples, I think you'll understand why, because you might not think of some of the foods I'm going to list as carbs, and so hopefully that'll give you a better understanding. So simple carbs, simple carbohydrates, these are going to occur naturally in fruits, dairy products, honey, and syrup, but they're also added to processed foods. So think of like eating an orange. It's a simple carbohydrate. Well, so is like a donut. But remember back to nutrient dense versus empty calories. With the orange, man, you could have, as far as calories go, if you compare calories in an orange to calories in a donut, you can have probably 4, 5, 6 oranges. And I'm not saying that's a good idea, but I'm just giving you the example. Like, an orange might be like, depending on the size, 80 calories, whereas a donut, you're getting like 3, 4, 500 calories depending on what's on it and in it. So you want to choose nutrient-dense foods. The orange is going to give you a lot of nutrients, whereas the donut is not. Okay, so that's simple carbs. And simple, think of simple as like quick energy. So people that are like distance runners or just like they need that quick energy, unfortunately we tend to turn to like quick energy like with this bullet, where we're doing like something that just has a bunch of sugar, not really many nutrients. But the same thing can happen if we have like fruit or something like that. Complex carbohydrates, so this is just the basic structure. But this is going to be like your grains, like your bread, pasta, beans, root vegetables like carrots, potatoes, turnips, those kinds of things. And complex, it takes longer, so your energy is used over a period of time. So simple is quick energy. Complex carbs, so these things, it'll store in your body and it will be used at a later time. So that's why people will carb load if they're going to be like running a long distance race or whatever. That's one example. People might load up on these things. And then fiber, a lot of people don't think of this as a carbohydrate, but it is. Fiber's only job basically, because you don't digest it. It's not, there's no like nutrients, there's nothing taken from it other than it just moves through your body and keeps you regular, so it helps with digestion. So it just moves waste through your body at an appropriate rate. Really quick with fiber, you might have heard like eat fiber, it helps you feel full longer. So the reason is that fiber is bulky in your stomach, and so think about it this way: if you are eating a bulky food, the signals sent to your brain, because I don't know if you knew that when you're full, when your stomach is full, there's signals that say, hey, I'm full, stop eating. The signals will be sent to your brain, and then you will think that you're full, and so the only reason you would continue to eat is maybe unhealthy behaviors, where you know you're full, but like the appetite side of it, the psychological desire kicks in. So, but yeah, fiber helps you feel full longer, and it helps with your digestion. All right, protein. These are nutrients that help build and maintain cells and tissues. So you need 20 amino acids. Your body makes all but 9. So think about what that might mean. Those 11, the 9, so the 11 you make, but your body makes all but 9, so there's the bell. Your body makes all but 9, so think about what that might mean if your body doesn't make them, so you have to get it in your diet. I used this word earlier with the other nutrients. I'll just give it to you. I'll give you the answer. So it's essential. So 9 essential amino acids. Your body doesn't make those. You get these in complete proteins. So usually it's like animal products, where if you're having anything that is giving you protein and it's from an animal, you can basically guarantee that you're getting all 9 or complete protein, all of the amino acids that you need. And then an incomplete protein, I mean, just kind of like the opposite. It's missing one or more of those amino acids. And it's like your plant proteins, grains, seeds, and legumes. And then, I know that you can't really see this, but this is an example, because I know there's a lot of people that are vegetarian or vegan. And so there is a way to get protein in your diet. Like, you don't have to have animal products if that's what you decide and choose to do. So here's just some examples of foods that can give you protein that are non-animal. Okay, fats. So, one thing, I think that fat, like, it scares people because we don't want fat, but we need fat. I don't know if you guys realize that. We need fat, but we don't need to eat the kinds of foods we get, because the fat we get from those foods is this kind. This and this kind. So we want to eat unsaturated fats because that can lower our risk of heart disease. So our vegetable oils, nuts, seeds. Another great example of like a healthy fat would be avocados. I don't know if you guys have heard that, or if you're on board the avocado train. I know that a lot of people, it's kind of mixed, where some people can't stand them and others love them. So just know that that is a healthy kind of fat. Saturated fats are going to be found mostly in animal-based foods, and that can increase your risk of heart disease. And then trans fats, so these are formed by adding hydrogen to vegetable oils, which is hydrogenation. So one thing, just think about trans fat as showing up in your packaged foods. I mean, think about how Oreos or cookies or chips or whatever can stay on your shelf for a few months. I mean, would a banana be able to do that on your counter? I mean, would you still eat that, you know? So just think about like our fresh produce and how long or short it takes for that to go bad versus like your packaged foods. And there's obviously something going on as far as the process of it to be able to last long. So yeah, trans fat can raise your cholesterol, which cholesterol is basically just like fat in your blood. Okay, so health issues related to fat. I already mentioned you need some fat to function, you know. It's going to help with, well, there's a lot of different things, but like, just think, so fat is one source of energy, but then like protection, using certain vitamins, fat-soluble vitamins we'll get to in a minute, like insulation. So there's a lot of different things that fat is used for. Those are just a few. Vitamins. So vitamins are compounds found in food that help regulate body processes. So water-soluble vitamins, these are the examples here. These dissolve, basically, let me just tell you what this means. Removed by the kidneys. So let's say that you love those vitamin C tablet thingies and you just like eat 3 of them when you only need 1. Is that going to kill you? No, it's not. What's going to happen is your body's going to take what it needs, use what it needs in your body, and then you're going to urinate the rest out. So that is what happens with water-soluble vitamins. Now, let me just tell you though, I had a student one time say that one time she ate like a whole bottle of like Flintstone gummies or something. Now, a whole bottle, you're going to experience something called toxicity. And that's usually diarrhea and throwing up. So just keep that in mind. And it's the same thing if you were to eat like a whole bag of grapes. You're going to experience toxicity. So those 2 things that I just mentioned, those physical things that happen in your body, unpleasant things, you're going to experience that if you're experiencing toxicity with vitamins. And then fat-soluble vitamins, I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons for fat in your body and needing fat. All right, sorry, I was trying to avoid the 1-minute warning music. Okay, so fat-soluble, you need fat to be able to absorb these and use these vitamins in your body. Think about like vitamins, like fat-soluble vitamins, helping with like your hair, your skin, your nails, your sight, that kind of stuff. So super important in our body, and that's one of the reasons we need some fat. It can be toxic though if you have too much. All right, minerals. You ready for like the greatest picture ever? This always makes me want to go drink chocolate milk. So elements found in food that are used by the body. So think about elements. I want you to think about your chemistry class. The periodic table, there's elements. Okay, here's some examples of minerals. So elements found in food that are used by the body. So here's some examples of very common, I'm sure, minerals you've heard of. Maybe some of them you haven't, but you can kind of see, looking at this list, the sources and then deficiency diseases. So if someone is lacking calcium, I think we've been told this from a young age, you know, like, oh, osteoporosis, or like strong bones, that's what that is, or your teeth. I don't know if you've heard that one before, but let's see another one, just an example. Magnesium or potassium, weakness, mental confusion, abnormal heart, poor memory. So, I mean, minerals, it's important that we're getting, this is one of the essential nutrients, so it's important we're getting enough of these in our diet. And then water. This one I feel like some people are like, what? Like water is a nutrient? Yeah, we need to get... So a general rule for how much water you should get is, if you need to know your weight, divide your weight in half, and that's how many ounces of water you should be getting every day. So if someone weighs 120 pounds, they need to get 60 ounces of water every day. Now, if you're involved with a sports team, you need to get more than that. So just think that the base is half of your weight in ounces. It helps with all of these things: digestion, transporting nutrients, cooling the body. Your body, you sweat. That's how you cool your body. Lubricates your joints, cushions the eyes, brain, spinal cord. So water is super important. We need to make sure we're getting enough of it every day. Okay, and that is it. You can, I'm not going to show you these just because, I mean, they were just kind of for fun. But yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, good luck, and make sure you're eating healthy.